Well, good afternoon. Look who's up and awake today. I think I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I really slept in pretty good. But I thought I would share the trays that I was working on last night for this weekend's yard sale. We're having a community yard sale with I think we have 4 or 5 villages here that all do it on the same day. And it's once a year, and Saturday's the day. So I took the black trays that I'm going to be selling on my website, and they're a hard plastic tray, and this is the back of them. Got a few fingerprints on them from me holding them. And I did I used the epoxy cast 690. I let it sit for a little while. I guess it was still kind of liquid when I used it. But if you could see, I put one of my older crystal clusters on it with the diamond dust on there. I added a little rhinestone. I guess it's hard to focus in on that. I did put a rhinestone on there. And I put some of my other crystals that I made. These were crystals that I made in the beginning of my mold making. So I had a whole box of those still. I put a real crystal on there. And I put my new tower mold crystal on there. So I thought it came out rather pretty. Not pretty with the light shining on it though. Let's just try to turn that light completely away and see if you could still see it. Guess you could see some of the colors on there. So that's one of the trays I made. I'll go get you another tray. Here is another tray that I made. Let's see. Hard to see. I think I might have used some alcohol on this one with the glare it's tough to see, but you see how everything kind of separated? It looks really cool though. It made a super cool pattern. But anyway, here's the crystals. These were flat tip crystals. It's one of my big chunky crystals. I'll turn it sideways so maybe you could see the crystals. There. Now you can see the buildup of the crystals. So for a yard sale, I was, my stuff's going to be a lot higher than $1.50. That's for damn sure. But I was thinking maybe, I don't know, $35. I don't know. At least my neighbors will get to see what I do. Nobody knows what I do. And they don't have a clue what I do. I think some of them know I'm a medium, but I don't think they realize I am an artist medium. And I am the artist medium too. How about that? I want to get the extra diamond dust off of that one. So, I can't get the whole thing in, and I'm terrible at this new camera. So I'm trying to get closer and keep it in focus. So you see all the different crystals I put on there. The blue one is a new one. That's the mold that fell apart as soon as I got done casting it because I was in a rush and I need to be more patient and let my clusters set up. So I'm learning as I go. So this is a black amethyst tip crystal. This is a gold amethyst tip crystal. This was a cluster. This is the same cluster with two different colors on it. And this is another little amethyst tip cluster. And my camera is a Hewlett Packard camera, that webcam. So it's not the greatest quality. I definitely love the resin pattern. Oh, that looks like a mermaid. Hey, I didn't even see that. I did not see that. That looks pretty cool. How about that? So I love that pattern on there. I even put some of the moon rocks on there from Leslie Onstad's website, which are big hack and mica flakes. I don't know. I like this kind of stuff. I know some people don't go for all this, but I do. And that's why I make this kind of gaudy stuff, because I'm gaudy. I really do. I really do love it, though. I love the colors. Flip that light around to drive everyone nuts and try to bring the colors up above the light glare. So something like this, I really don't think I could do 35 on. But anyway, it'll give them an idea of what their strange neighbor does until all hours of the morning in her basement. It probably drives people nuts. So I want to open up my Facebook page for my LaCranch Creation page quickly and see if I could share this. I don't often come live during the day, but I thought I would and just, I don't know why sometimes I cannot access my pictures. They want to, oh, you know why? Because I'm using the Google Chrome browser. Yeah, it's not, I'm trying to see what it's going to give people. It's giving them my dashboard link. What is wrong with that? Okay. I was trying to share it to my Facebook page, but I can't be giving out my dashboard link to people. And I just don't see where I can share it at on here. But I really like that one. I would like to keep it. I love to keep it because I love it. Where would I put it? I don't know. Now, did I show all three so far? Did I show 3? I guess I did show 3. Here's the last one. Now, do you see that dragon snaky dinosaur looking guy in there? It stayed pretty well. I put the green gem on the eyeball. Actually, it was the center pimple in the middle of the tray. Some of the trays have a little more, I should call it an updent than others, which is you can easily take an emery board and just sand that down if you get one. But I love these trays. I didn't get much feedback on them when I put them on my Facebook page. That's the new, that's a new mold that I put on my website, and this is just a crystal I was experimenting with. There, I think you could see it a little better that way. But I like my bling. Let me turn the light again because it's driving me nuts. Okay. So it's a little dark, but I used some inks in here. I used my hot pink. I used hot pink. I used galaxy purple, which you can't even really see the damn colors right. But look at that guy. He's like right in the middle of my tray. He is too cool for school. So here is obviously, the hot pink, which is getting whited out by the light. And then it looks yellow when I move the light. This is so frustrating, trying to show you good colors. I wanted to show you the galaxy purple, which looks blue. And I used the aquamarine by Resin Art. Let's see if I could get a shot of the purple. This is all galaxy purple. And obviously some other colors have mixed in there. And then I have aquamarine in here. I also used a little bit of the Blue Emerald Bliss by Eye Candy, because that is my favorite color that they make. So you'll see a lot of that in my work. I bought 4 bottles of that when they had their special buy 2 get 2. That was an amazing deal. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not eye candy. Epoxy candy. Epoxy candy. I'm almost out of my eye candy samples, so I probably won't be using that anymore. But the Lorez Luster pigments are in this tray and all the other trays. And I got some of the gold blinging in there. This one didn't have lotus flower. I didn't have any of that mixed up left by the time I got done. But in person, this looks much more brilliant than you could see on the video. And around the edge of the crystal is the Pinata Rich Gold by Jacquard. Or I don't even know if it's by Pinata or Jacquard, but both names are on that bottle. And let me see. I don't think I used that on anything else. I did a cutting board, but I didn't really like how the cutting board turned out. Let's see what it looks like today. Yeah, I don't know about this. These were on clearance and they have big letters on them. So this one has a letter N, obviously. Let me put my tray where it's not going to fall. Oh. So I didn't even know if I liked this by the time I got done last night. I was thinking of it more as a decoration than a cutting board. I don't want people putting their food on top of epoxy. Incidental contact is, you just shouldn't do it. I've done enough research to know that no matter what anybody says, you just shouldn't do it. So I would recommend people just to hang this in their kitchen and not put any type of food on it. I mean, any resin any resin artwork that we do leaches chemicals for about 2 weeks on the piece itself. People don't even realize that. And I just don't think you should use it as any type of cutting board. I am going to end up going over this with some clear in the middle. So these are just display boards. These are not going to be cutting boards. If I sell any type of cutting board, I'm just going to be doing the handles and make it, send a paper making it clear that they are not to be used for food or anything on if I were to do just the top section. I just don't recommend it. And I've talked to a lot of chemists and people who make and create this stuff. And, like they say, if you can't pour it in a glass and drink it, it's toxic. I don't care about anybody talking about their VOCs and all that bullshit. I don't believe any of it. I don't go for it. I've had chemical burns. And anyway, I don't know. What do you think? Is this too gaudy and just yucky looking? I was so tired that I got done this at like 4 o'clock in the morning. By the time I was done, I had made a whole cup of my epoxy. I had to keep wiping it out of the leaves and wiping it off the top of the end. It was like never ending because it was so thin. So I know I really need to put another coat on top of this because it's soaked into the board. But anyway, for $3, it was worth having some fun with, and I bought 11 of them. If you have a Hobby Lobby, go check their home decor section. It's 75% off. And if you look on the aisles, on the edge of the store there, they have just 2 or 3 aisles just jam-packed with stuff 75% off they just want to get rid of. So go see. I bought 11 of these cutting boards for $3.24 each. But yeah, colors that were used on this again was the Eye Candy Blue Emerald Bliss, the Resin Art Luster Pigments Purple Galaxy, and Resin Art Luster Pigments Aquamarine. So I used 3 colors on this, and my Fantasy Gold I used on this up top. And on the bottom, I used the, I'll just show you the bottle because these names escape me. The Pinata Rich Gold by Jacquard. This is the one that you have to keep shaking up. And there's a bead stuck in the bottom somewhere. There it goes. So you keep shaking this until you hear the bead. Some people say, oh, there's no bead in there. There's a bead in there. Just keep shaking it. Once you hear the bead shaking around, you know that sucker's ready. And this is amazing gold, let me tell you. And I love doing the geode work with it. I put it right over top of the resin crystals. Just made a nice geode line through there. And you just need to keep stirring it. Like if you took a little and put it in the cap or something, every time you go to use it, you need to stir it around because it separates immediately, but it looks amazing when you catch that brilliantness of it being stirred and use it. The stuff is amazing. So again, I don't know. I'm 2 days out from the yard sale. I suppose I'll put it out just to see what comments I get. And tonight I'll probably do a flood coat on it. I don't know if I could sand it. Maybe by tonight I could sand the bumps a little bit. I have a little bit of bumps because the wood wasn't as smooth as I would have liked it to be. But I doubt people here in these mountain hills have seen people make art like this. So I don't know anybody around here that does what I do. So anyway, I have a lot of coaster art. And I do the molds. I'm not putting my molds out for the yard sale, but they wouldn't even know what the heck to do with them. I'm going to put, here's something interesting, if y'all remember. Do you remember when I did that? This is real crystals. The reason I put them on here was because I bought so many crystals off this one lady, and they're all chipped from all being in the bag for God knows how long. And that was my lesson on not just buying any lots of crystals anymore. Now I go and I drive lots of hours to go find some crystals. That was made, what do they call this? Decadin. That's decadin. That means you color in your silicone and you put it in a cake bag. I have a lot of coasters that I need to list up on the website. Oh, wow. Are these touching? Oh. Okay. I had shelves built so I could lean stuff against the wall and them not be touching. But I need to list up coasters on the website and tiles. I cannot part with my I can't part with my rose that didn't come out right. It's my first try at putting a rose in. I do sell this mold to do this in this shape. It's on my website, but I was having trouble with the batteries in my scale. So when I measured out, because I have to use a scale to measure out my epoxy, this was the only piece I've ever had that didn't set up right at the tip. So this is my first. I can't believe how big it looks in there. You could see how small it really is. But look how giant it magnifies it. And I had painted this rose. I spray painted it pink and then gold. I thought it turned out kind of ugly, but I don't know if you remember when I made these. I'm just going on and on because I'm just all alone and I just want to sit and talk to people. If you remember that I made this egg, this is a real egg. And yes, I covered it completely in diamond glass. So it's a very sharp item. Oh, I love it. I love it. I another item I can't part with, but I just keep it in a bag because I don't want dust getting on it. Because the only way to clean that would be just to hold it under running water, spray of running water. I couldn't ever touch it, right? And here's another one that I made. I have dozens of eggs waiting to be decorated. I used to be an egg decorator. I love decorating eggs. So this was a fun project. This one turned out a little bit heavy because I had to fill the inside with stone and some resin. And I actually broke it by accident. And I thought, oh my goodness, let's put a cluster. So those are all real and dyed crystals. So everything's real on this one. It's heavy too. It's very heavy. It's cool though. If I had if I had more shelving or shelves up in my house, I would. I have two little coal mine houses that were joined together, and I don't have a lot of furniture up there. I just got rid of a bunch of stuff, old stuff, and I just feel better with the room pretty much. Main room's pretty much empty with the desk and just a couch, and just keeping things simple. So these colors are. This is lavender on this, and the what looks like blue here on screen is actually purple, and this is green, and these are golds, and that's black. But this is something that I just stick it on my shelf. um, I forget what I was making. I was making. I did. I can't remember what I was making. I was making something, and it wasn't set up all the way, and I ended up just playing around with it and pulling it. I think it was a bowl and what a tiny. Was it an attempt at a trinket dish? It was something that got stretched out of shape, and I ended up saying, "I'm just going to cover it in this glass glitter." So that's what I did. So I call it my flower, and I just sit it up on my shelf with all my pretty creations up there. Anyway, I just wanted to, I never showed anyone that before. So I have a whole area of shelves. I don't even know if you'd be able to see it if I try to lift this camera up. I don't think I can angle the camera over to showing you. No, I have a camera taped to my light. It's not working. I used to be able to show you when they let me use my iPhone, but because I'm under 1,000 subscribers, I'm not allowed to use my iPhone anymore to do lives. But I have just tons and tons and tons, and I know what most of us do as resin artists. we just have endless amounts of resin art. But I'm going to be listing most of it up. Some of it I'm going to put out on the weekend, but I doubt I'll get what I'm asking for it because I'm not going to cut myself short. But I do want people around here to see what I make, and I'll give out my business cards so they're aware if they need gifts or something, they know who to come to. So I hope you like my trays. That's mainly what I wanted to show, was they're all set up. And I'm going to go back to, I have to dig out the original master molds that I have for these ones, because I kind of got away from them trying to make bigger crystal clusters. And I realized making this how beautiful they look, and that they probably would be nice pieces. So I'm also going to come up with something. You know, I'm selling the resin crystals themselves. But I'm thinking about making bunches of them and just selling like a bag with like 4 or 5 in it, reasonably priced, so that resin artists could just have a bag of them and just use them. You know, some people don't want to mess with molds. Some people love messing with molds. But I think I'm going to try to also work on, I have to get more product. So that's the only thing. I have a little bit left that I'm going to have to hang on to now. I've been making a lot of stuff lately, and I have to watch what I'm doing. So I make all my stuff made to order. So if you want to place an order, it's all custom made. So LeeCranchCreations.com, same name as YouTube, same name as Instagram, same name as Facebook, same name as Gmail for emails. So thanks for checking out my trays and my babbling on, and make something beautiful, people. Rock on. Ciao.